Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend.
And I'm James, your black friend.
This is the Fat and Black Connection.
Why are you so somber right now, man?
Because unfortunately, we have to start off today's episode with some unfortunate and tragic news unfolding in Kansas City earlier today at the Super Bowl champion parade. There was a mass shooting that took place. Did you hear about this?
I didn't hear like all I saw was some people got hurt. I didn't know I heard there was a shooting, but I didn't know it was like like but multiple people got shot.
So, a headline from AP: at least 8 children among 22 hit by gunfire at the
Oh
end of the
dang.
Chiefs Super Bowl parade. One person killed. It sounds like there have been so far 3 people arrested. So, just reading from the AP article, 8 children were among 22 hit by gunfire in a shooting at the end of Wednesday's parade to celebrate the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl win. Authorities said as terrified fans ran for cover, and yet another high profile public event was marred by gun violence. One person was killed, a mother of two identified by her radio station as a DJ.
Oh dang.
So, needless to say, not the way I like to open a show, but we would be remiss if we didn't at least
No.
acknowledge the situation. And I pray for everyone affected by this needless violence. And there, like I said, it sounds like there's 3 people in custody. Uh,
Bro, this is supposed to be a time of celebration for that city, not time to be, like this is that I mean that's see, that's why we can't like just nice things. These are supposed to be something that was supposed to be nice, and then these people come out acting stupid. Like that was unnecessary.
Agreed. And of course, as always, we are live and interactive. It is February 14th. It is Valentine's Day, as a matter of fact. And so,
AKA Singles Awareness Day.
and as you are, happy Valentine's Day to you, James.
As to
Uh,
you, Mark.
Obviously, we're here doing a show, so you must not have found a Valentine.
Well, I got other things I'm working on right now. So,
Oh, well, please do tell.
oh, I'm talking about the one love I have right now, which is Oak Bridge. So that's
Ah, yes.
that is what's got most of my attention.
Fair
So,
enough. And do you have an Oak Bridge update for us?
we are. I finished a number of the main characters. We are finished with. We still got some work to do, but we're gonna finish up. We're gonna finish up. We're gonna finish up strong.
And part of the reason you still have a lot of work to do is, for example, you canceled all recording sessions yesterday.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize that we weren't actually recording today, so that was my fault. But yeah, no, actually, that's not even the reason why we have a lot to do. It's just we've had some issues with people getting sick, people uh, forgetting what day they're recording, all that kind of good stuff. So I got to work on getting all that back on track and getting everybody in here and reorganized. But I think we'll be good. We'll be actually. I don't think we good. We're gonna be good. I know we're gonna be good.
Fair enough. And we already referenced this, but we got to go a little bit into it just because it kind of is big news. Talking about the Super Bowl briefly. San Francisco 49ers, Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City wins in overtime.
New
Um,
overtime rules too, which was
I mean, these overtime rules are better,
yeah.
uh,
No, it was
and
definitely
and
better.
they make a lot more sense than in the past.
Were these the same? Are these the same rule? Well, we didn't have any overtime games in the playoffs, but are these going to be the same overtime rules for just? Are those going to be like postseason playoff rules, or are they going to be like throughout the season playoff or
I
throughout the
believe it's
season
just
rules?
postseason.
Oh, it's just going to be all postseason.
Well, yeah, because
It
in
makes sense. I
postseason
mean,
you
oh yeah,
you
because
can't have a game end in a
you
tie.
can't have a tie. Yeah, that's right. You can have ties in the regular season. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah. So
Because what it's two overtimes and then is it two overtimes and then in the regular season and then
no, it's just
it's
one.
oh is it
Just
just
one
one?
overtime. Yeah, 15-minute, one overtime.
And if it ends in a tie, it ends in a tie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me double check that, but I'm fairly certain. The new playoff overtime rules include 15-minute periods instead of 10-minute overtime periods in the regular season. If the team that got the ball first doesn't score a touchdown, or if the score is tied after each team has possessed the ball, the next scorer would win. So that's new playoff or Super Bowl overtime rule. Regular season, it's 10-minute and it's one.
Okay. Well, I think it makes sense. It makes sense because I know probably why that came into play was because of a couple years ago with Buffalo and having it tied up and then not getting a chance to possess, and that's when Kansas City beat Buffalo a couple years back. Like what, last season or was it the season before?
A couple seasons before, but
yeah.
Overtime. So were you able to watch the game live or were you working?
I was working, but I was able to watch. Like when I got on my break. Actually, I got on my break during overtime. Like
nice.
It went to overtime. Yeah, so I got to finish the game. I got to watch like the beginning of the game before I started, and then I had a break, and I was able to see like I think it was right before. I think it was before halftime. It was like the second quarter. Most like the beginning of the second quarter. I remember. I think I came down. I think I pulled up the screen when just before Kansas City fumbled in the red zone. I don't know if that was second or not. I don't remember. But whenever that was, that's when I was able to watch for a while, and then went back up, and then I was just we were all kind of keeping track of the score, and luckily, like I said, I was able to get on break. I'm sorry, right near the beginning of overtime. So, yeah.
Cool. I was at a Super Bowl watch party at the Nugget in Sparks.
Nugget, same one you went to like a couple years ago with Angel.
Yeah, so it was a different venue. So it was in I forget what it's called. It's overtime or it's some kind of
like a sports bar type deal.
Yeah, it's like a sports bar, but it's really big. And so there's probably a couple hundred people in this place. But it was all you could eat, all you could drink.
Nice.
Everything was included, so that was nice. They had a nice spread of food, but it was interesting. Where I was, I would say 70-ish% of the people were Niners fans, and a lot of people had come up from the Bay Area.
Yeah,
and then probably 20 to 30% were rooting for Kansas City, myself included. Yeah. So that was, of course, awkward, but it was interesting watching the room and how quickly it deflated at the end of regulation, and then again in overtime, 3 seconds. Yeah, it was. I think it was a great game.
No, I mean, like at the beginning of the game, it wasn't looking too great, but then like the second half was a completely different game.
Yeah, it was a very good game. Considering I'm not a fan of either, considering I wasn't like hardcore rooting for anyone. I mean, I was rooting for Kansas City because I really can't stand the Niners. But ultimately, it was a good game. If you're just a fan of football, you probably enjoyed this game.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, like I can't tell you how many I was like, what is all like everybody who came through. A lot of people who came through. There was a lot of Niner fans, of course. There was a lot of Kansas City fans that came out to Vegas, of course. But I saw so many other jerseys from like Dolphins. I saw some Broncos fans, a couple Jags fans. I was like, yeah. And then the Cowboy fans or whatever. So, I just had to talk trash to those guys. But yeah, no, it's just like there was so many other, like there was a lot of people supporting just their own team.
So as a reminder for folks, James does live in Las Vegas where the Super Bowl was held. And you do work at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a record set on Monday for the most people making their way through TSA, over 100,000 people.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't have to deal with most of them.
Um,
And actually, the one thing I will say, from an employee standpoint, it did not seem that busy. Luckily, which was nice. Well, okay. Also, let me put on that. I don't work in the morning, so I'm sure a lot of people left in the morning. I work in the afternoon, evening. So when we got there, it wasn't. There was, it's a good clip, but I think also because we had pretty much every lane open, we had multiple pre-check lanes open, we had multiple regular lanes open, and pretty much everything was running. I think that's what kept it looking, at least from our standpoint, not as busy. If we'd only had what we normally have, I'm sure it would have been overrun. But yeah, everything was going super smooth. So, good job, LAS team out there.
fair
Oh,
enough.
plus all the people. Plus, they brought in a bunch of people from across the country who help out at airports throughout the country. There's like a team of that. I'm actually trying to get on that team. But yeah, it's they go like wherever they're needed, kind of around the country. They have their own home airport, but then they go out and hit other airports. Like we had some of our guys come up to Reno. This was almost a year ago now. But they go like Denver. Some went to Florida a while back, and just all across the country. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So we had another group of people downstairs working that sent people that were for like D gates. So it's easier for them to get there, not having to go downstairs and all that stuff. But yeah, it was cush. It was real cush. Also, remember, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, we're live. So if you got comments, questions, anything like that, you want to tell us, what you thought of the game, we'd love to hear it, man.
For sure.
Especially from those Niner fans who are probably really sad right now.
As they should be. As they should be. The Niners have been nothing but a disappointment when it comes to the Super Bowl for the last 15 years.
I'm just hoping that the world doesn't end next month. Because the last time the Chiefs beat the Niners was right in March.
COVID yes, pre-COVID, yes. Well, I mean, it was already on its way, so
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And of course, as the Super Bowl goes, so do trailers.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask, so Twisters, is it a sequel or is it a remake?
So from what it looks like, it looks almost like a sequel because they added the S on it. So that's why I was thinking sequel, because they still had some of the same well, like at least an homage to the first one with the the little balls with and this looks like they got the propellers already on them this time. So I don't know exactly if it's a new or if it's a remake or if it's just a new movie. I really enjoyed the first one. I'm kind of interested in this. I laughed when I first saw it because I was like, yeah, that looks very familiar. But
yeah, to me, it felt like a remake rather than a sequel. But then they added the S at the end, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. I mean, there was some subtle differences. I mean, of course, it's two teams of tornado chasers. But from what it seemed,
I mean, there were two teams in the first one.
That's what I'm saying. It was two teams. Like the similarities was two teams. They're somewhere in the Midwest, and there's just during what do they call? I remember they call it tornado season or whatever. But they're both trying to get these tornadoes, and we'll see.
Fair enough. And what do you think about Ariana Grande putting on some serious white face?
Oh, is that who that is? I didn't really look who the cast was. It didn't sound like her at all. That's why.
Yes. Ariana Grande in white face.
Didn't even really look like her. That's crazy.
With freckles.
Oh, they kind of did her nose a little different. Yeah. Made her kind of look whoish.
So what did you see this trailer?
Yeah, no, I actually, I knew that Wicked would be coming out eventually after seeing the show itself. I was like, oh, there's no way that's not going to be turned into a movie. I'm actually surprised it took this long, but also,
25 plus years.
yeah. So, but also like, um, I'm interested, and I, it's kind of perfect timing right now too, with all the, with Mean Girls and what was it, Color Purple, all those coming out, doing the basically the musical versions of those movies. So, yeah, interested.
I
Interested in
mean, this isn't a musical based on a movie, though.
huh? I said no. This was no.
I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
saying, Mean Girls was a
Oh yeah,
movie,
yeah,
then
yeah.
they
Right,
made a
right, right. But then
musical.
they,
Color Purple was a
right,
movie that they
right,
made a
and then they,
musical.
yeah, right, and then they, but then they re-released. They basically released the versions of those. They released the just recently. They released the like musical versions of those movies.
And according to Jenny, it totally sounded like her. And evidently, she's got vitiligo because that's what she looks like now.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't follow Ariana Grande, so
I mean, I definitely like, but I just didn't. I mean, of course, I didn't look at the casting of that. If I'd probably seen the casting, then yeah, I would probably,
knowing you didn't actually watch this trailer. You probably had it on. You listened to it.
No, I actually watched this trailer. I watched all the trailers. What are you talking about?
I just know you have a tendency to watch something, but also do something else, and so you're not giving 100% of your
No,
undivided attention.
like I watched that I watched that trailer. I actually ended up watching that trailer like twice, actually like two and a half times, because I didn't watch it fully the last time because I was watching. I wanted to see the other trailers that were in this package that they had.
Okay.
It was like, it was on YouTube. It was like the one that had all the Super Bowl movie ads together.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was in there. I watched. I so like I said, I watched it prior to. I watched it on this. Well, like I watched the. I did a speed through of the Super Bowl just so I could watch the. So I could watch the commercials actually on the Super Bowl. But then I did the, and then I watched it on YouTube. Through the page, and then I watched it. I started watching it in that package, but I was like, I already seen it, so I jumped to the next trailer.
Fair enough. So I'm a huge U.S. history buff, and that I once did the musical Assassins, uh, and of course, when I saw the trailer for Manhunt, and I right away to me, I looked at this and I was like, I
Was
think
that
this guy's
John
playing
Wilkes
John
Booth?
Wilkes Booth.
Kind of
So
looks like him.
I had to open up the trailer because a lot of the times with Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus, I don't even check unless it really looks interesting, because I don't have it, you don't have it, we
Right.
don't. But when I saw this and I was like, Manhunt, that looks like John Wilkes Booth. Oh snap! Are they doing a story or a movie on John Wilkes Booth in the I think it's 10 days after he shot
After the assassin.
Lincoln.
So, what is this going to be leading up to the assassination, and then the hunt afterwards, or is it?
So it sounds like it basically
Or is
there's a
it
little bit of
after?
preamble and then
Mhm.
the assassination and then it's the 10 days, the manhunt for finding him. And
That's crazy. So, what are they just making this up, or is there actually like some documented proof of what he did? Or I mean, when after
oh,
they
it's
caught him?
heavily documented.
Oh, I just never really looked into John Wilkes Booth after, like I after history, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. John Wilkes Booth, have Ford's Theater assassination, got away, and then I didn't realize he was out on the run for 10 days. So
Lincoln assassinated
yeah,
in Ford's Theater.
right.
Kennedy assassinated in a Ford. Lincoln.
Is that right?
Anyways, yeah. So another interesting story about John Wilkes Booth that a lot of people don't know. You've heard the saying, "My name is Mud," and it's kind of a negative, right?
Mhm.
If you're called Mud, well, that's because there was a doctor named Mud who set John Wilkes Booth ankle after he broke it jumping from the balcony onto the stage to yell out "Sic Semper Tyrannis." And so that's where it came from because he set his ankle. He didn't know everything that was happening, but doctors take a creed to,
Do no harm.
Hippocratic oath, right?
Yeah.
And
Do no harm and stuff like that. So he's doing
he
his
set
job.
his ankle and helped him.
Yeah.
And after that, Mudd was prosecuted, and so
really,
that's where it comes from.
So, I didn't know. I didn't realize he was prosecuted because I mean he didn't. I mean, of course, if he'd known, then yeah, that would have been something different. But if he doesn't know, how can you be? You're like, oh, this guy came to me, his ankle was broken, so I helped fix his ankle. I'm a doctor. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. So Samuel Alexander Mudd Sr. was an American physician who was imprisoned for conspiring with John Wilkes Booth concerning the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. There was never any actual evidence or proof to truly link him aside from helping.
But helping the person that committed the assassination.
Yep.
And then does this also involve? Do you know? I'm sure if you've read the synopsis of the show, does it also involve the other co-conspirators of the assassination attempt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm pulling up right now. So the synopses from Apple TV Plus, the way that they describe it, a conspiracy thriller about one of the best known but least understood crimes in history. This is the astonishing story of the hunt for John Wilkes Booth and the aftermath of Abraham Lincoln's assassination as the fate of the country hangs in the balance.
Very interesting.
Again, this is one of those times where it's like, man, I think I'm at a point where there's enough content
on Apple Plus where
for me to get it for like a month or two to watch all the stuff that we've talked about that we've wanted to watch.
Yeah,
I think I'm about there. This might be what finally tips the scales.
Yeah, speaking of which, I got to cancel my Paramount Plus because I only kept it so I could watch the Super Bowl. Because I don't have any way to watch it otherwise. I didn't have any way to watch it on like any other streaming.
So did you finally watch that trailer I told you about to go watch, or the commercial for Paramount Plus?
Yeah, they actually showed that during the Super Bowl.
They showed an edited version, a very short version.
Oh, really? Was that the short?
Did you watch the full one?
I didn't see the full one. No, then I did. I thought that was the full one.
Go watch it on our page. Watch the link on our page because it's the full one.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was the full one because it was pretty long.
No, that was pretty edited. But you're getting rid of Paramount Plus just in time to not watch Knuckles, the series.
I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens.
No interest.
I like Knuckles. I just don't understand. I thought this was when I first saw this. I thought it was actually I didn't realize it was going to be a show. I thought it was or like a mini series. I thought it was actually going to be like Sonic 3 or whatever. But
Sonic and Knuckles.
Well, yeah, which was the actual 3 and the game series. Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to actually. I do need to get through. What was that? White Lawman. I need to get through that one. Bass Reeves. I do need to get through that.
So KaboomCon, James.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, is only 206 days away.
206.
That's 6 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days.
Sheesh.
Saturday, September 7th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Over 50 retail vendors, probably around a dozen food and beverage vendors.
Tickets on sale.
We've got some mainstream comic book artists coming. We've got some independent comic book tickets are on sale through Eventbrite, or if you really wanted, you can go to kaboomcon.com and get your tickets through there as well. KaboomCon. So yeah, check it out. It's exciting. It's coming. And speaking of cons in general, we should probably give a little love because tickets are now on sale for the Silver Age Comic-Con, which is a two-day event, July 13th and 14th, 2024 at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. And guess who's going to be there?
You.
I am. You are correct. Guess who else is going to be there?
No, I'm kidding. I know I will be there. Not plan on, I will be there as well. Let's
Yes,
see.
the Fat and Black Connection will be live at the Silver Age Comic Con
Live.
in July. It'll be a double wide booth. We're going to have the dynamic father son duo of the Iriartes with us. We'll probably also have Jimmy Jones from Pop Culture Kaboom joining us.
Did we call Jam on that one too?
I believe so.
I'll double check.
Should probably double check on that.
Yeah,
But
I'll let him know. Make sure he knows. But 2 days. This is gonna be 2 days at a real con. But
I'm sorry.
it's real con.
Compared to what's not a real con?
Oh,
I understand. One of those other events that we've been to.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes, sir.
This is year 2, right, for these guys, or is this?
I believe this is actually their 3rd year.
Oh, okay.
And it has grown so much. So their first year, they did it at a smaller venue. Last year, they did it at the convention center in a larger venue, but it was still massive. It was packed. I was there checking it out.
That's like because you had already met Jimmy, and Jimmy was showing you around the whole thing, right? Yeah.
That was actually the first time I met Jimmy in person.
Oh, okay.
So that was cool. But it was such a huge success for them that they've extended it. They're making it a 2-day event.
Yeah.
And so we will be there both days. Live. I'm sure we will do some live broadcasting.
Oh, yeah.
Probably do some interviewing.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, no.
So it was a very busy week for Disney.
Yeah.
In general, and the Walt Disney Company, I should say, because they came out with a new teaser trailer for Inside Out 2.
Joy to the world.
Are you interested in this one?
I was hoping they would do a sequel to that movie.
My kid's favorite ride at California Adventure is the Emotional Whirlwind.
That's a fun ride.
And the Golden Zephyr.
Yeah, no, I know she absolutely loves that.
Yeah, which are basically the same ride. And over at Disneyland, she loves Dumbo and the Astro Orbiter. So,
which is the same ride. But yeah, no,
circles.
Apparently, the kids like circles, man. But no, I once I saw Inside Out, and then I saw the little movie that they made. It's supposed to be like her first date or whatever. And it's like her dad, it's like seeing her dad's emotions inside, which was really funny to see. So, but yeah, I was hoping for a sequel to this film, since it was released, or on video after I saw it, because I didn't see it in theaters.
Well, it looks like you're gonna get your wish.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We got an announcement. Moana 2 is coming.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I'm a little confused. The post, I actually enjoyed I liked the still a little bit more than I liked this announcement.
I mean, the still doesn't really show much. It shows a giant
shark
in the water, and it shows Maui.
Well, no, it's like the whale shark. Or it looks like a whale shark. So I'm trying to figure out if that's another ancestor's, shadow, like her grandmother showed up in the first film. I'm wondering, and Maui's back, and all, a lot of the, at least the characters that we saw in the first film. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But yeah, because this comes on the heels of the live movie as well. So I'm like, what? That's the part that's confusing me.
Fair enough. How about this one? I didn't realize that this was a limited series. I thought this was a movie.
I thought that same. I had been thinking the same thing. I did not realize it was just going to be a series. And this has been around for the last year. This some kind of poster or some iteration of this poster. This is, of course, the latest one. Yeah, and
And you
I
saw the
thought
trailer, right?
I saw the trailer, which I thought, like I said, I thought it was a movie. Like you said, I the entire time I had no idea it was going to be just a series or limited series.
Yeah, and all episodes drop February 28th, so just 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in this show.
Just in time for the end of Black History Month.
Yeah, very true. Well,
And it's Black Future, not Black
mhm.
History. Another huge, massive announcement from Disney. They have purchased a major share of Epic Games,
We talked
and
about
they
this
are.
last week. Is there more
We didn't
information
talk
now?
about this last week.
I thought we did.
You and I talked about this, but we didn't talk about it here.
Oh, man, that's really bad that I'm getting confused
Yeah.
what we talk about on and off air.
Yeah. So this is huge. They're going to make a game that it is a world building game. It sounds like that will include all aspects of the Walt Disney Corporation. So as you can see, this image: Marvel, ESPN, Lucasfilm, Disney Plus, World of Disney, Disney
This-
Cruise Lines. Like,
So is this a
you can
MMO
see
or is this
there's
a
like Hoth is up here. Over here you got like Tomorrowland. Over here you've got Avatar, Pandora. Isn't this the thing from Lilo and Stitch? This vessel. You've got
yeah,
some
that kind of looks like that looks like that rocket ship.
You've got some X-wings down here. I'm going to make us disappear for a minute.
It looks like some
Over here you've got Peter Pan and
Neverland?
Neverland. You've got some TIE fighters. This is that racing game, I think, that you've been playing, the Speedway or
Speed
whatever.
Force?
You've got
Speedstorm.
Pixar,
Speedstorm.
20th Century Studios, Walt Disney Animation over here.
Disney Plus, ESPN, yeah, Marvel, Lucasfilms.
Way up here, that looks like what is it? The Frozen City?
Oh, Arendelle?
Arendelle, there we go. And up here, is this Tron?
I can't really tell.
Let's see. Let's zoom in.
Oh, it kind of does look.
It looks like the grid, right?
Yeah, it does look very British.
So
What is this? What is this one in the foreground? The one that almost kind of looks like a. It looks like a whatchamacallit, Millennium Falcon, but not, but with
This thing?
town stuff.
Down here?
No. The in the middle, like under Disney, that whole circle area there.
So we've got Flo's.
So
this
this
is
is the
Radiator
parks.
Springs, Stark Industries. You've got a Nightmare Before Christmas over here. I'm guessing this is Wreck-It Ralph, Monsters University. Oh no, Wreck-It Ralph's
down there. Something else being built.
Is this where Belle? Is this Beast, Beauty and the Beast Village?
That could be.
This looks like something from Star Wars, Tatooine,
or Black Spire.
Yeah. So there's so much going on here, and if we zoom in even further, you see the
World of Disney. So it's like
Disney.
the shops and stuff, like kind of a Main Street-ish.
Yeah, this
and
kind of feels
running
like
through.
Mary Poppins, or I don't know, man. Like when in this trailer, it doesn't really give us anything.
doesn't give you-
It just throws everything Disney, Walt Disney Company
All
at you.
in the world of this, and this, and I like because I almost.
Oh, hey, that's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I almost just kind of tossed it away because I was when I saw it, I was like, oh, that looks like the commercial they've had for Disney Plus forever, but absolutely not.
Is that
Oh,
Pizza
look at
Planet?
that. Yeah, and then Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
So-
Yep.
So that's all. Yeah, Tomorrowland and go to the top snow one.
Tops. Well,
That is hot. Okay,
that's
that is,
Hoth.
yeah, that's hot. And go to the other one because I didn't get to see that one.
Which
The
one?
one you
Up
said
here?
looked like Arendelle.
Ah, yes. Where did it go? There it is, way up over there.
Oh yeah, no, that's very much that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then over here we've got Pandora, it looks like. Ah!
Oops.
Surprise. I guess teaser of what's coming next. But that looks like Pandora up there, right?
Yeah, floating. Yeah, it looks like some floating islands. Yeah.
So, man, I want whatever this is. And the worst part of this trailer is at the end of it, it says coming soon-ish.
Yeah. Is this going to is this an MMO thing?
I think so. I think it's going to be in the style of something like, what's that brick one where people like build?
Oh, dear Lord.
It's not going to be blocky like that. It's going to be
not Minecraft. What's that? What's that other thing called?
Yeah, I think it's Minecraft.
Oh, is it?
Or Roblox or whatever.
Roblox, that's what, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be in the vein of like world building like that, where you can do it with other people. But I don't know. I really don't know.
I would kind of like, yeah, I would kind of like it if, you know, you get it, you can, you know, customize a character and then, you know, do missions and things like that. But, you know, you can travel to all these places and you know, kind of explore these places.
And there's the Millennium Falcon, by the way.
Kind of a la, what was that? What was that, Disney World Adventure?
There's Groot. Oh, you're talking about the Disneyland game that we had, that I still have, where you actually create an avatar and walk around Disneyland?
Purchase?
Make some purchases?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just, whatever it's going to be already.
you're like, here, take my money.
Pretty much. I'm ready. Let's go. I will pre-order now, even though it's not coming out in like 2 or 3 years. Like, let's go. I mean, I was one of those people who pre-ordered Disney Plus, you know, a year before it actually released. So
you did,
and I purchased it for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
you most definitely did that,
and that was a great investment, frankly.
It has been.
So I already showed this. We got our official teaser trailer for Thank You Super Bowl. What'd you think?
So the Super Bowl one was actually that was the short version. It was just like full trailer online. So of course, probably everybody.
Well, yeah, because Disney didn't want to pay for 2.5 minutes a Super Bowl time.
Of course. So I mean, but like honestly, man, I was like, okay, I'll mess with it and especially with bringing in the, you know, like TVA and that whole situation, and I'm very interested. Very interested. Yeah. Somebody told me, are you familiar with Loki? Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you have not watched Loki, what rock have you been living under? If you haven't watched this yet, and B, I would definitely suggest. I mean, we still got a little while before this film comes out, but I would definitely suggest watching that series to understand who the TVA are.
Agreed. I would agree absolutely, and I love this. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to go get this necklace. Give you one, I get one, and we could do the ping. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen American Dad, but there's an episode where Stan and Roger have best friend necklaces, and they, you know, twirl them around and then ding. Yeah, but
that's awesome.
So also interesting title of the film. Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, which throws everything. It throws a loop, threw me for a loop when I saw the title. So I was like, huh? What? Because everything leading up to that was just like the Deadpool logo with the claw marks through it. So
yeah, and this is coming out in just over 4 months.
Yeah,
like just over 4 months, and this is the first we've seen. And I get a lot of it had to do with the writer strike. There was delays; it got pushed back. And then the actor strike, of course.
Yeah.
I've been anxious about this. I'm even more so now. I can't wait. I
remember we talked about it. I said probably Super Bowl. Like
you know how I'm feeling about it,
bro. Yeah, no, I remember like when that. Yeah, I remember we talked about that. We were like, "Yo, there hasn't been a trailer yet," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, probably Super Bowl."
So do me a favor and don't jump the gun, but we got an image release today. Marvel Studios of Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Today. What in the blue hell? Just out of the blue on a Wednesday, Marvel's just like, hey,
dropping random stuff. Hey,
why not?
It's Wednesday. Let's just drop some stuff.
Yeah. And oh, wait, not only did they drop a logo, but hey, here's the cast. So and just to be clear, just in case you can't tell who the people are by this image, you've got Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards,
Yeah.
Vanessa Kirby as Susan Storm.
Yeah.
Not sure I know who she is.
I went looking up these people before the show.
Okay, Ebon Moss Bachrock as Ben Grimm for Clobberin' Time, and Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm.
Yeah. So Vanessa Kirby has most recently been in the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. She'll be in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 2. That's coming next year.
Okay.
Dead Reckoning 1 was like somehow flew under the radar for a Tom Cruise movie, but whatever. But she was in Hobbs and Shaw, Napoleon. She's been in a couple. Actually,
she was super young in Napoleon.
Then
if that's who I'm thinking of.
And then she's been in most of the last few Mission Impossible films. So, but yeah, and then we had. Sorry, I thought I had this more set up. Joseph Quinn, he looks different here, and the reason he looks different here is because he doesn't have the crazy hair. He is in the most recent season of Stranger Things. He was like the leader of the of what they thought was like the demon worship. They were basically playing D&D. So he was in that Stranger Things most recently. Apparently he's going to be in Gladiator 2. He's done some Game of Thrones. So yeah, he's done quite a few films himself. So yeah, so he's up and coming. So they went with him. The guy playing Ben, he's actually not new to Marvel. Actually, he's been around. He was in Punisher. He was in Andor. So he's familiar. He has some familiarity within the Disney family. So yeah.
Well, obviously Pedro Pascal as well.
And we all know who Pedro. I mean, we should all know who Pedro Pascal is.
I would hope so. Your favorite Mandalorian, who, I mean, this is just huge that Pedro Pascal is playing Mr. Fantastic. He's the Mandalorian, who's also getting a titular film coming soon.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's taken over for The Rock, man.
Do you know how old he is?
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
I'm going to put him at 45.
He's actually 48.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were pretty close. Yeah, he's April 2nd, 1975.
Interesting. Yeah, he's and which I think makes him a little bit too old almost to play this part, but I
mean, he doesn't look that age. He doesn't.
But then when you think about the last iteration of not the last iteration actually, but the Fantastic Four, the first Fox films,
right?
When they did it, the guy they had playing Mr. Fantastic, I'm trying to remember his name to save my life. I can't. Please, Lifeline, James.
Give me. Yeah. Sorry, I had it earlier because I was looking up stuff about this film.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm like trying desperately to pull up. Give me just a moment. It was Ioan Gruffudd.
Yeah, there you
go. Which most people don't recognize the name because he's not super well known. He hasn't done a ton aside from those two Fantastic Four films.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Titanic, but in a bit part. Okay. But yeah, he was kind of on the older side, especially compared to Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
So I guess they're kind of going for that here too, because I don't know how old What's Her Bucket is, but
she is 35.
Yeah, so he's like 13 years older than her. Um, so yeah, that's kind of interesting, and I wonder if they cast her because her last name is Kirby.
No, she's from England. I don't know if. I mean, very well could be. I don't know, but
And there are some rumors coming out hot and heavy that Adam Driver has been cast as Doctor Doom.
I can mess with that.
It hasn't been made official. Disney hasn't announced.
They haven't
it or
actually.
anything like
It's
that,
actually that says the report that I was reading with the on NBC with the announcement of the casting, Doctor Doom has not been cast yet. So as of a number of hours ago when the story broke and all this stuff was released. Oh, wait, are those out already?
it's the most wonderful time of the year, man.
Sheesh.
Easter candy.
Feels really early.
Well, today, as a matter of fact, is Ash Wednesday. It is the start of Lent today.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not drinking for 40 days. I gave up alcohol. I'm kidding. I'm not Catholic.
I was about to say. What?
But yeah, today is the start of Lent. 40 days from now is Easter.
Damn, I didn't realize that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I apologize to you Catholics out there. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm not Catholic. I have no problem, no qualms. Go forth and do. God rest you, merry gentlemen.
Mate, restaurants. I hope you got the fish ready for Friday.
Dang right. Remember when we worked at Red Robin during Lent every Friday? Man.
You know what? It's crazy. Is that something I found out? And I don't know. You might have told me this, but I found out that when the missionaries were in California, beaver. They basically petitioned the Catholic Church to make beaver a fish. Because apparently that's the one thing, like they couldn't get the Native Americans to not eat beaver meat. Like, they capture the beaver and eat it or whatever. But yeah, so they made apparently the Catholic Church made beaver fish. So
the Bishop of Quebec, Francois de Laval, asked his supervisors in Paris during the 17th century if the beaver was considered a fish. Their answer, yes. So it wasn't the Pope, but it was leadership from Paris.
Yeah. So I was like, that's crazy. Oh shoot. Here he is.
Uh-oh. We got a hater coming in.
No. We got a troll.
I've eaten a lot of beaver. I don't believe that.
I also don't believe that, but
yeah, that seems very false to me.
Fake news.
Yes, fake news. Your Deli Jeff.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've never.
Trolls is out tonight.
I've never heard this before. Being a fish, beaver barbecues were permitted throughout Lent.
Yeah, so that was the thing because I guess they just couldn't get them. They were trying to get them to eat fish, and they did capture fish, of course. But during Lent they got beaver to stupid. Ask your mom. Jeff.
That guy.
Oh, he's become the show troll.
And since you brought it up, let's look at from NPR the history very briefly of the fishy tale behind eating fish on Friday by
Maria, I've never actually understood that thing, but
by Maria Godoy. It sounds like a plot of a Dan Brown thriller. A powerful medieval pope makes a secret pact to prop up the fishing industry that ultimately alters global economics. The result, millions of Catholics around the world end up eating fish on Fridays as part of a religious observance. This real politic explanation of why Catholics eat fish on Friday has circulated for so long, many people grew up believing it as fact. Some, myself included, even learned it in Catholic school. It's a humdinger of a tale, the kind of conspiracy theorists can really sink their teeth into. But is it true? Many people have searched the Vatican archives on this, but they have found nothing, says Brian Fagan, a professor emeritus of archaeology at the University of California, Santa Barbara, whose book Fish on Friday explores the impact of this practice on Western culture. The real economic story behind Fish on Fridays turns out to be much better. Let's start with a quick lesson in theology. According to Christian teaching, Jesus died on Friday, and his death redeemed a sinful world. People have written of fasting on Friday to commemorate the sacrifices as early as the first century. Technically, it's the flesh of warm-blooded animals that's off limits. An animal that, in a sense, sacrificed its life for us, if you will, explains Michael Foley, an associate professor at Baylor University and author of Why Do Catholics Eat Fish on Fridays? Alas, Christendom never really developed a hankering for snake. But fish, well, they'd be associated with sacred holidays even in pre-Christian times. And as the number of meatless days piled up on the medieval Christian calendar, not just Fridays, but Wednesdays and Saturdays, Advent and Lent and other holy days, the hunger for fish grew. Indeed.
I'm sorry. This Jeff, come on, bro.
Indeed, fish fasting days became central to the growth of the global fishing industry, but not because of a pope and his secret pact. And we've got Jimmy from Pop Culture Kaboom checking in. Hey, Jimmy, I keep seeing you post about major changes and shifts happening over at the Pop Culture Kaboom. Can you share with us what those might actually be? Do we have to actually tune in to find out? At first, says Fagan, Christians' religious appetite was largely met with herring, a fish that was plentiful but dry and tasteless when smoked or salted. And preservation was a must in medieval times. There was no good way for fresh fish to reach the devout masses. Eventually, cod became all the rage. It tasted better when cured, and it lasted longer too. The Vikings were ace at preserving cod. They used dried and salted cod as a form of beef jerky on their ocean passages, Fagan says. And the route the Vikings took at the end of the first millennium, Greenland, Iceland, Newfoundland, matches up with the natural range of Atlantic cod.
Yeah.
It's possible that others may have followed the cod trail to Canada before Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Clues suggest that English fishermen from Bristol may have made the voyage by around 1480, but kept mum on the location lest the competition rush in. By some accounts, both Columbus and John Cabot had heard of these adventures when they set off on their own epic journeys west. Why do people go over the horizon? Fagan says. In the case of the North Atlantic after the Norse, they went looking for cod to satiate the demands of the faithful. So really, they came to America looking for fish.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's no fish in the there's no fish in the Atlantic that you can get closer to home?
So that's the empire part of our saga. Funny enough, while the Pope story is a fish tale, an official leader of the church did make fish fasting the law for purely practical reasons. For that story, and the lust our headline promised, we turn to a monarch known for his carnal cravings, Henry VIII.
Oh, wow.
James, what do we know about Henry VIII?
6 wives. That man, he created divorce.
By the time Henry ascended to the throne in 1509, fish dominated the menu for a good part of a year. As one 15th century English schoolboy lamented in his notebook, "Thy will not believe how weary I am of fish, and how much I desire to that flesh were come in again."
Oh, here we go. So dry and salted. Got to try that. What does he say here? One time I had a Canadian girl. Oh wait, never mind. That's dead. That's a dead fish.
Is that even funny? I
don't know what. I've just been there, done that. It's just it's Jeff. It's me. It's Jeff being Jeff.
But after Henry.
Earlier, he said we keep setting him up. So
I'm just reading an article, man.
Making it easy for him, yeah.
But after Henry became smitten with Anne Boleyn, English fish eating took a nosedive. You see, Henry was desperate with desire for Anne, but Anne wanted a wedding ring. The problem was Henry already had a wife, Catherine of Aragon. And the Pope refused to annul that decades-long marriage. So Henry broke off from the Roman Catholic Church, declared himself the head of the Church of England, and divorced Catherine so he could marry Anne. Suddenly, eating fish, Jeff, became political. Fish was seen as a popish flesh that lost favor as fast as Angelicium took root, as Kate Coloquin recounts in her book Taste, the story of Britain through its cooking.
Damn, Jeff looking for a comedy special or what?
You see, suddenly eating flesh became, I already said that, fishermen were hurting, so much so that when Henry's young son, Edward VI, took over in 1547, fast days were reinstated by law for worldly and civil policy to spare flesh and use fish for the benefit of the Commonwealth, where many be fishers and use the trade of living. In fact, fish fasting remained surprisingly influential in global economics well into the 20th century. As one economic analysis noted, U.S. fish prices plummeted soon after Pope Paul VI loosened fasting rules in the 1960s. The Friday meat ban, by the way, still applies to the 40 days of the Lenten fast. A few years before the Vatican relaxed the rules, Lou Groen, an enterprising McDonald's franchise owner in a largely Catholic part of Cincinnati, found himself struggling to sell burgers on Fridays.
Yeah.
His solution?
Filet-O fish. Yeah. Oh, that's when it came out?
Yep.
That's crazy.
While not exactly the miracle of loaves and fishes, Groen's little battered sandwiches have fed millions around the world.
That's crazy.
Thank you, NPR.
The Filet-O-Fish.
You should thank it. Next time you're talking and hanging out with a Catholic friend, thank them for the Filet-O-Fish.
Yeah, I must say I didn't realize that. But also like the Filet-O-Fish used to be that was my go-to sandwich when I was younger, bro.
Yeah, with heavy tartar, right?
Nah, I mean it was just like whatever normal what came on there.
Nah, man, you like that heavy tartar. You want to feel it squishing between your teeth.
That's only at whatchamacallit.
And Jeff prefers the McMuffin. Of course he does. At least he didn't say the McMuffin top.
So does she. He says, actually, earlier he said, he's eating flesh. That's what I'm going to call it.
This guy.
Oh, man.
And this is why we can't ever have him on the show. Like,
yeah, it would be too concerning. It would be way too concerning.
I would say today we have no way of getting canceled, but I think if we let Jeff on,
we probably would.
yeah, we'd get canceled.
Yeah.
Anyways, you got anything fun and or exciting going on?
Did we already go through all the trailers and everything?
Yeah, man.
Oh, hey, what about those prop bets? Did we get any answer on those?
I never took the time to go
Oh,
through
it's all good.
and we can look at them, I guess. Let's see. Here they are. Give me just a second. Moving some stuff around.
He
Let's
said,
see.
"Oh, hey, look, he threw this one there."
At least I didn't cancel Video Newark. Yeah, neither did I. I yeah, neither did I. So let's see. How long? And did you hear Reba McEntire's rendition of the national anthem?
I heard the end of it.
So the national anthem unofficially lasted 1 minute and 35 seconds from the song's first word to the end of the final note held. That lasted just longer than 1 minute and 31 seconds set as the official over under bet by most. So if you had bet the over, you were right. And James, you were right.
Yeah, and actually, apparently that was only for Canadian, like on draft or whatever, not DraftKings, but FanDuel or whatever they have, whatever one. It was only allowed in Canada because betting on the national anthem not okay in the U.S. apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. So the Kansas City Chiefs won the coin toss when they called heads, which you called heads. So you 2 for 2 on some prop bets. So you said, will the opening kickoff result in a touchback? You said yes, which it did.
Yeah.
What will be the result of the opening drive? You said punt, which it was.
Yeah.
What will be the first turnover of the game? You said interception, which was incorrect. It was turnover on downs.
Oh, turnover on downs. Oh.
Which team will score first? You said the Chiefs. You were wrong.
I was super wrong.
Which team will be the first to reach 10 points? You said the Niners, and that was correct.
Yeah.
Which quarterback will throw the first passing touchdown? You said Mahomes.
And I was wrong on that one.
Was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't. No, Purdy didn't throw that because that was I forget who threw that.
Purdy snapped the ball and threw to Juwan Jennings.
Yeah. So Jennings got the first touchdown.
Then launched it back across the field for McCaffrey to race the 21 yards. So yeah, technically that touchdown was not thrown by Purdy.
Right. And also
it does say which quarterback will throw the first passing touchdown.
Oh,
so it wasn't who will throw. Hold on, let me double check that. The first quarterback.
Excuse me.
Was I don't know. It doesn't say. And Juwan Jennings is only the second player in Super Bowl history to throw a touchdown that is not a quarterback.
Right. And actually, so I did get the one. How many? Like with the over, like two and a half.
Will either team score in the final 2 minutes of the first half? You said yes. That was not correct.
Right.
How many songs will Ursher perform at halftime? You said under 8.5, and I believe that was wrong.
Yeah,
I think he did like 12 songs.
I think he did too.
Well, and some of them were like 5 seconds.
Yeah. I will say it was very awesome to see her play the guitar. Like she is.
Who is that? Who was that?
She came out. She came out.
Who came out?
Her.
I'm asking you. Who?
Stupid. Her artist name is Her.
Who's Her?
She came out playing the guitar.
Who is she?
Stop. I'm not playing this game.
I'm asking you who's on first.
First base.
Will Ludacris make an appearance at halftime?
Yeah.
Anybody who said no is out of
stupid.
mind.
Absolutely stupid.
How many players will attempt to pass? And you chose the over of 2.5, so of course you were correct.
Yeah.
Because we know by what we just talked about, that there was a passing touchdown that wasn't a quarterback's.
Yeah, exactly.
Will there be a missed field goal? You said no.
Yeah. Wow.
And you were technically correct. It was a missed point after try.
Oh, so technically, I guess. Well, no, yeah. So technically, I was correct.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
point after is not a field
Point
goal.
after is not a field goal, right?
Who will finish with more passing yards, Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes? You said Patrick Mahomes.
And
Some of these I'm not going to look them up. Who finished with more rushing yards? You said McCaffrey instead of Pacheco. Who will receive more? Who will have more receiving yards? You said Deebo Samuel, which no one did great.
Yeah.
Who will win the Super Bowl? You said 49ers. You
Yep.
were wrong.
I was wrong.
How many points will be scored? You said the over of 47. You were wrong.
So here's the funny part: is apparently on most of the other sites it was 48, and so one of the guys I work with, he had actually bet the over and the Chiefs 1 point.
Yeah, so a lot of places it was 47.5 for a long time. So it fluctuated between 47 and 48.
Yeah.
So either way
you would have lost due to the fact that
if the bet was 47 and it would be considered a tie, and so it negates that part of the bet. So you don't win or lose.
Yeah, you get your money back? Or
it breaks even in essence.
I didn't know that was the thing.
What Gatorade color will be poured? I didn't see.
It was like they showed it, and it was actually like a purple. It looked like purple.
Really?
Yeah. I happened to see. I saw like during the trophy presentation, they showed the Gatorade.
Oh, I'm looking at this. Oh yeah, it was like a purplish black.
It looked it's that weird grape flavor.
Well, you said orange. So
yeah,
you were wrong.
That's the normal. That's like orange or blue, because it was orange, blue, red, and other. So if you picked other.
So who will win the Super Bowl MVP? You didn't think it would be Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes. You said other, and that would be wrong.
It was Mahomes?
It was Mahomes, yes.
Yeah.
And will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift? You said yes. And
no, I didn't have a choice. I said no.
Yes, I know. I was joking.
Oh.
And of course, he did not. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but he was mic'd up. And so the whole conversation with him and Taylor was heard when they met on the field and embraced and kissed. There was not even an "I love you" anywhere in there.
Oh, nice. But apparently, Travis Kelce was out there singing "Viva Las Vegas" in a very just kind of tone deaf fashion.
Yes. And did you see Travis Kelce shove Coach Reed when he was heated?
Yeah, I did see that.
I don't know if you know this, but Travis has a podcast with his brother that they recorded, I believe, either yesterday or today, in which his brother called him out and said, "You crossed the line. You went too far." And Travis agreed and admitted and apologized again that he's a passionate player, but he knows that he kind of stepped over the line.
Yeah, and I mean, and Coach Reed's very understanding, so he understands that Travis is very in the game, and so I'm sure he didn't take it. I'm sure at the time it wasn't appreciated, but at the same time, I know he knows probably it wasn't personal. It's just he was very very into the game. So, understandable. And, I'm glad that he actually, I'm glad his brother called him out, and B, that, he did apologize prior, but he also apologized again, realizing that he crossed the line. So taking that ownership of his own actions. And, like I said, it's probably like Coach Reed, he's been coaching long enough to understand it wasn't anything personal and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. So you got anything else?
No, man.
Nothing?
No. Nope. I'm just waiting for it now. I'm just waiting for these shows to come out. Now I might have to And now I might have to wait to get this. Might have to actually try and get this Apple Plus now because I'm actually interested in that Manhunt thing too. I mean, plus then I can watch all this. I can watch all the Peanut stuff on there. And
yeah, because they just did a special for Black History Month for Franklin, the greatest Peanuts character of all time.
All time. Do you know actually Franklin finally has a last name?
Do all the other characters?
Well, yes. I know
Charlie Brown does.
Charlie, and then there's Linus and Lucy. What's their? I had their last names. Van. I know they have. I can't think of it right now. Van something.
Van Pelt.
Van Pelt, that's it. And then none of the other characters really have last names, but Charles Schultz.
What's Pigpen's last name?
I don't think Pigpen has a last name.
What's Pigpen's real name?
I don't even know. I don't even know his real name. Actually, there is one time I was actually talking about this the other day. I was saying that people used to think Pigpen was the Black Peanuts character. Like, no, he was just a dirty white kid. Because there's an episode, there's a cartoon, and they're like Pigpen, he has the dust on him, his signature dust. He walks to his house and he opens the door. The dust literally the cloud of dust sits outside. This man goes into the house, jumps in the bathtub. The water turns dirty. He gets out of the bathtub, he cleans himself off, puts new clothes on, and then as soon as he walks out, that dust jumped right back on that boy.
So he was clean for all of about 2 minutes.
Yeah. But no, yeah. I can't because actually there's a comic strip called Jumpstart, and the writer of that is he became friends with Charles Schultz, and actually Charles Schultz hit him up and asked him if he could use his last name, and I believe his last name is Williams. I want to say that, but I could be wrong, very wrong. And I don't think that's right. As soon as I said it, that came out of my mouth. But Charles Schultz actually asked him if he could use his last name for Franklin, and he was more than honored to have his last name used for Franklin. So, yeah.
So it's what now? Franklin what?
I don't think it's Williams. I have the book. It's in my cabinet, but actually, hold on one second.
This guy makes for some good TV, I suppose.
Oh no, my bad. No, as soon as I knew I was wrong. Armstrong, my bad. I knew as soon as I said Williams, I was like, that's not right. It's Armstrong. So yeah, so Franklin Armstrong is now his name.
Franklin Armstrong.
Yep.
Very, very good. I guess.
So yeah. And actually there was this whole uproar. I don't remember if you probably saw this, but there's this whole uproar because I guess in the Thanksgiving special, Franklin was the only character, there's the black character. He's the only one on the other side of the table. And so apparently they redrew it, so he's now with everybody else. I was like, oh, guys. Only brother in that hood.
I mean, it's kind of how it was for you growing up.
Not really. Oh, I mean,
okay, yeah, your brother, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, like I was at some of the schools I went to, I was the only black kid for a little while, but other black kids came. So
no, I meant specifically in your neighborhood, on your street.
Yeah, that's actually that. No, actually, no. That is 100% correct. Yes, I was the only black kid. Yeah. Had a Mexican kid next door, and I had bunch of white neighbors. Oh no, there was another black kid, but he lived in the court around the corner, so it wasn't technically on my street, but yes, he lived around the corner.
Not the same.
And we didn't really, and like, I don't know why he didn't come out and play with us a whole lot.
Oh, you know why. And yes, he did grow up around the White Menace.
Yes, I grew up right. He lived at his grandmother's house right around the corner from me, actually. So
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else of interest, then should we call it?
yeah, actually, there is uh, two things. Two things. One, if you haven't checked out, if you're interested in going on the cruise that we're planning in 2026, this month, technically. So it's like 2 years away now, ain't it? Almost 2 years
It is
from departure.
literally, it is 2 years, and give me just a second. Hold, please. Hold, please.
Oh, holding. Pattern buffers are full.
It departs in 2 years and 2 days,
Yes.
733 days.
Yes. So if you're interested in getting on that cruise, contact us through the page. We can add you to that group. If you're already on that group, make sure you call Terry and let him know you're interested, and he can get some deals for it. We'll see what he got going for you.
Absolutely.
And then tickets again. We didn't hark on it a whole lot tonight. We hit it, but make sure tickets are available for KaboomCon. If you want to see us at Silver Age Comic Con, or we will be there. So yeah,
absolutely. It's going to be a fun couple of years, man. We got a lot of stuff going. So, anyways, I hope you all have a lovely evening, and make sure to go out and find that special someone that you love and let